Jacob Isaakszoon van Ruisdael, c. 1629 to 10 March 1682, was a Dutch painter, draftsman, and etcher. He is generally considered the preeminent landscape painter of the Dutch Golden Age, a period of great wealth and cultural achievement when Dutch painting was extremely popular. Ruisdael was prolific and versatile, depicting a wide variety of landscape subjects. During his early phase, which began in 1646, Ruisdael painted Dutch countryside scenes of remarkable quality for a young man. In his middle phase, which began after a trip to Germany, Ruisdael's landscapes took on a more heroic character. In his later phase, during which he lived and worked in Amsterdam, he added city panoramas and seascapes to his regular repertoire. In these, the sky often took up two-thirds of the canvas. Waterfalls also often feature in Ruisdael's oeuvre. Ruisdael's only documented pupil was Meindert Hobbema, one of several artists who painted figures in his landscapes. Hobbema's work has at times been confused for Ruisdael's. The confusion surrounding attribution of Ruisdael's work has not been helped by the fact that he had 3 family members who were also landscape painters, some of whom spelled their name Ruisdael. His father Isaac van Ruysdael, his well-known uncle Salomon van Ruysdael, and his cousin, confusingly called Jacob van Ruysdael. Ruisdael's work was in demand in the Dutch Republic during his lifetime. Today it is spread across private and institutional collections around the world, with the National Gallery in London, the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, and the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg holding the largest collections. Ruisdael has shaped landscape painting traditions worldwide, from the English Romantics to the Barbizon School in France, and the Hudson River School in the US, as well as influencing generations of Dutch landscape artists. Life. Jacob Isaakszoon van Ruisdael was born in Haarlem in 1628 or 1629 into a family of painters, all landscapists. The number of painters in the family, and the multiple speakings of the Ruisdael name, have hampered attempts to document his life and attribute his works. The name Ruisdael is connected to a castle, now lost, in the village of Blaricum. The village was the home of Jacob's grandfather, the furniture maker Jacob de Goya. When de Goya moved away to Naarden, 3 of his sons changed their name to Ruisdael or Ruisdael, probably to indicate their origin. 2 of de Goya's sons became painters. Jacob's father Isaac van Ruysdael and his uncle Salomon van Ruysdael. Jacob himself always spelled his name with an I, while his cousin, Salomon's son Jacob Zoon van Ruysdael, also a landscape artist, spelled his name with a Y. Jacob's earliest biographer, Arnold Houbraken, called him Jacob Ruisdael, and claimed the name resulted from his specialty in waterfalls, namely the Ruis falling into a dal, where it foams out into a pond or wider river. It is not known whether Ruisdael's mother was Isaac van Ruisdael's first wife, whose name is unknown, or his second wife, Maken Cornelis Dicter. Isaac and Maken got married on 12 November 1628. Ruisdael's teacher is also unknown. It is often assumed Ruisdael studied with his father and uncle, but there is no archival evidence for this. The earliest date that appears on Ruisdael's paintings and etchings is 1646. 2 years after this date he was admitted to membership of the Haarlem Guild of St. Luke. By this time landscape paintings were as popular as history paintings in Dutch households, though at the time of Ruisdael's birth, history paintings appeared far more frequently in Dutch homes. This growth in popularity of landscapes continued throughout Ruisdael's career. Around 1657, Ruisdael moved to Amsterdam, by then a prosperous city which was likely to have offered a bigger market for his work. Fellow Haarlem painter Orlet van Everdingen had already moved to Amsterdam and found a market there. Ruisdael lived and worked in Amsterdam for the rest of his life. In 1668, his name appears as a witness to the marriage of Meindert Hobbema, his only registered pupil, a painter whose works have also been confused with Ruisdael's own. For a landscape artist, it seems Ruisdael travelled relatively little. To Blaricum, Egmond and Rhenen in the 1640s, with Nicholas Berchem to Bentheim and Steinfurt just across the border in Germany in 1650, and possibly with Hobbema across the German border again in 1661, via the Veluwe, Deventer and Uitmarsum. Despite Ruisdael's numerous Norwegian landscapes, there is no record of him having travelled to Scandinavia. There is some speculation that Ruisdael was also a doctor. In 1718, his biographer Houbraken reports that he studied medicine and performed surgery in Amsterdam. Archival records of the 17th century show the name of Jacobus Ruisdael on a list of Amsterdam doctors, albeit crossed out, with the added remark that he earned his medical degree on 15 October 1676 in Caen, northern France. Various art historians have speculated that this was a case of mistaken identity. Peter Schaltemer suggests it was Ruisdael's cousin who appeared on the record. Ruisdael expert Seymour Slive argues that the spelling Uij is not consistent with Ruisdael's own spelling of his name, that his unusually high production suggests there was little time to study medicine, and that there is no indication in any of his art that he visited northern France. However, Slive is willing to accept that Ruisdael may still have been a doctor. In 2013, Jan-Paul Hinrichs agreed that the evidence is inconclusive. Ruisdael was not Jewish. Slive reports that, because of Ruisdael's depiction of a Jewish cemetery and various biblical names in the Ruisdael family, he often heard speculation that Ruisdael must surely be Jewish. However, the evidence shows otherwise. Ruisdael requested that he be baptized at the Calvinist Reformed Church in Amsterdam, and he was buried in the St. Bavo's Church, Haarlem, a Protestant church at that time. His uncle Salomon van Ruisdael belonged to the young Flemish subgroup of the Mennonite congregation, one of several types of Anabaptists in Haarlem, and it is probable that Ruisdael's father was also a member there. His cousin Jacob was a registered Mennonite in Amsterdam. Ruisdael did not marry. According to Houbraken, this was to reserve time to serve his old father. It is not known what Ruisdael looked like, as no known portrait or self-portrait of him exists. Art historian Hendrik Frederik Weinman disproved the myth that Ruisdael died a poor man, supposedly in the Old Men's Almshouse in Haarlem. Weinman showed that the person who died there was in fact Ruisdael's cousin, Jacob Salomon Zoon. Although there is no record of Ruisdael owning land or shares, he appeared to live comfortably, even after the economic downturn of the disaster year 1672. His paintings were valued fairly highly. In a large sample of inventories between 1650 and 1679, the average price for a Ruisdael was 40 guilders, compared to an average of 19 guilders for all attributed paintings. In a ranking of contemporary Dutch painters based on price-weighted frequency in these inventories, Ruisdael ranks 7th, Rembrandt ranks 1st. Ruisdael died in Amsterdam on 10 March 1682. He was buried 14 March 1682 in St. Bavo's Church, Haarlem.